Are you looking to become a YouTuber for a hobby or career? Then check out the Logitech HD Pro Webcam C920, complete with 1080p recording for your desktop or laptop. Affiliate link below in the video description. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is the Mundane Matt channel, and oh my god, do I love a good troll job. We have been, I should say, lacking greatly recently in a solid troll that will get a lot of gullible motherfuckers to bite. And quite frankly, the biggest group of gullible motherfuckers on the internet right now, gaming journalists. For the most part. Some are a little bit more savvy, but quite a few of them jumped at covering this new change.org petition that was all about trying to cancel Far Cry 5 or getting it changed in order to make it less about a religious cult in the Montana hills and more about something, I'd say, a direct threat to America, like Islam. So this change.org petition titled Cancel Far Cry 5 from a group called Gamers United talks about, they say here, enough is enough. We sat through your multicultural lectures and your preachy games aimed at degenerates and miscenegators. I don't even know. We've tolerated it in the name of gameplay design and innovation, but no more. Far Cry 5 is an insult to your fan base, the Americans who make up the majority of your customers, and it's time you woke up to that fact. Change this or cancel it. And right off the bat when I read this, because I read about this before I knew that it was a hoax. Someone sent it to me this morning, and they were like, hey, you know about this at all? And I'm reading through it just like, what? You could already tell in the very beginning of this that this was probably more of a troll job than not. But it goes on to say, us gamers have had to endure a lot of crap over the last few years, the targeted harassment by the mainstream press through Gamergate, the terrible launch and outright lies of highly anticipated video games, the outright censorship of art through localization policies, the continued rejection of romantic partners when they find out our hobby, the appropriation of our culture by so-called gamers on Twitter. No more. See, right there, that one of those ones, the continued rejection of our romantic partners when they find out our hobby. That again, that right there is like that's the breadcrumb that gave it away for me. That was like, that's the little line right there. I was like, okay, this is totally fucking fake. And they say it's time to draw the line in the sand. We, the American gamers that make up the majority of your user base, which I don't believe that's actually true. Again, that sounds very patriotic. Demand that you cancel the game or alter it to be less offensive to your main player base. In these times, you must understand that there might be some violent repercussions if you tend to follow through on your pointless criticism. And this is from like what was designed to be like right-wing snowflakes, conservative snowflakes. And that was the narrative that was tossed around this morning. So here's what they wanted to have changed in this, by the way. It says, change the villains. It's not so hard, really. Just change the villains to something more realistic. Islam is on the rise in America, as is the violence of any inner city gangs. Are you scared to do so? In the words of Voltaire, to learn who rules you, simply find out who's not being criticized. I just love that Islam is on the rise. Now, if they would have said like, okay, we're moving this game, like they should have changed it a little bit. If they want to be more realistic and maybe not give it away, you could just say you need to change it from Hope County, Montana to Dearborn, Michigan, and that could have been something. And then the inner city violence is pretty bad in Chicago. Anyway, it goes on to say, alter the villains. Even if you insist on making the villains American Christians, consider mixing the races a bit, not to target white people exclusively. There are plenty of nationalists of every stripe, every race and creed, so throw in some blacks and Mexicans. There's no reason a projectionist nationalist movement would all be one race. Why stop being politically correct there? And so as this thing, you can see as it keeps going, they're really amping it up, which just totally gives it away. Totally gives it away. It says, after the plot, or alter the plot. It's obvious that you continue to insist on using these characters. However, with a few artistic tweaks, you can save the concept entirely. Have the villains simply be misguided patriots forced into making their own nation versus the will of an oppressive over-government, construed of all the people that they turn their wrath against in their immediate surroundings. Their brutal physical and sexual violence towards their oppressors will then be explained as a reaction to harsh government policies and taxation to show that both sides are wrong. That just seems like some real out there talking points. And then it does go on here to say, change the settings. but for only certain markets. Look, I get that anti-Americanism plays in France. I'm not telling you to give up on potential profits due to complaints. Wouldn't want to be thought as one of those hypocrite feminists, right? But for America right now, anti-Americanism is out. You got to play your market. Change the setting to Canada for America. This way you don't turn away potential buyers due to offensiveness, just trying to help you make more money. And so again, as they've ramped everything up, the humor starts popping up in the last couple little clips of this, you know, and and then it ends here by saying, follow one of these, or one or more of these, and this game will be saved from PC hell and multicultural development. We Americans have so few games to call our own, and we're tired of losing them to multicultural bullshit. And that right there, just totally everything, you know, there's so many things in this that gave it away. Like I said, I'm reading it this morning and I'm just laughing my ass off because it's so fucking hysterical at the talking points they're trying to use. And it worked to get that response to an extent. Numerous outlets were running headlines today like, petition calls for Ubisoft to change Far Cry 5 villains to Muslim or change setting to Canada. Far Cry 5 petition says games should be canceled as it's an insult to Americans. Baffling petition against Far Cry 5 bubbles the surface. Cancel Far Cry 5 petition, a whole new level from racism to craziness. Deranged petition calls for Far Cry 5 to be canceled because its villains are white Americans. Someone has created a petition to get Far Cry 5 canceled. This bizarre petition is aiming to get Far Cry 5 canceled. And then this one here in the bottom left corner says Far Cry 5 draws criticism for religious angle, which then the subheading to that is alt-right nationalists are among those targeting the game. Now, before the trailer came out the other day, I did a video all about how the battle for Far Cry 5 began. And this is before we saw the trailer, before we knew about what was going on necessarily. And it's good to see that this particular troll job happened because we were able to trace it back. We were able to look to see its origins. And believe it or not, it's 4chan, baby. 4chan is the one that came in on Sunday night, 2 days ago, pumped this out Sunday night. Monday, the blogs ran with it. Everything I just showed you ran with it. And it was great. It was fantastic. But I will say, though, that Forbes and Destructoid were wise enough to catch on. Forbes, I figured, would catch on. Destructoid, I figured, would run with it. So I actually have to give credit to Destructoid for not taking the bait. People, like I said, people sent me this thing this morning thinking that it was real, that it was legitimate, that conservative snowflakes were trying to get this thing canceled. And at first I thought to myself, based on what I read in response to just the announcement of the box art and the trailer, I could see it. Because a lot of people out there are that level of kind of crazy when it comes to these things. And given our current society in that regard, definitely crazy. But then the more I read it, the more I looked into it, and then, you know, when somebody sent me the 4chan thread, I was like, oh, okay. It's good. It's good. So, nice try. Nice try, 4chan. You got some people. So pat yourself on the back for that one. To anyone out there who has an eye for this kind of stuff, they knew that it was horseshit from the beginning, but the fact that it is able to get as far as it did is something that should actually be commended. Remember, tricking games journalists is one of the easier troll jobs to make because they actually reach out to a wide audience. And if something breaks in the gaming industry and like racism, xenophobia, sexism, so on and so forth, and it's played out the right way, then you can watch as it kind of spreads and spreads and spreads. And it's one of the biggest problems to watch out for when it comes to fake news. So good eye on Forbes and Destructoid for catching it, and good eye on everyone else for doing the actual investigative work to find out that it was in fact a troll job from 4chan, and everyone else who decided to take the bait. Come on, guys. You're smarter than this. But what do you guys think? Excellent troll job? Not so excellent troll job. These are things I'm curious to know. Go ahead and let me know in the comments below. My name is, of course, Matt Jarbo. This is the Mundane Matt channel. If you guys haven't already, thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel, check back often for more content from me. If you want to support the channel, follow me on social media. Twitter is the best bet. Support the channel via Patreon, PayPal, or Amazon affiliate links, because right now it's helpful. And I'll talk to you all later. Have yourself a great one, and peace out.